Eddie Curry, millions spent, conditioning gone. Eddie Curry was paid like a star, but his body gave up long before the checks did. Eddie Curry was drafted 4th overall in 2001, a 7-footer with touch and brute strength. He averaged 19.5 points in 2007 with the Knicks, but behind the numbers was a mess. Poor conditioning, weak defense, and constant injuries. He showed up to training camps overweight. Rumors swirled about his work ethic. Off the court, he faced lawsuits, financial problems, and tragedy. Despite a 10-year career, he only topped 20 minutes per game twice. His talent wasn't fake, but his discipline was. The NBA doesn't wait for players to get serious. Curry never did. His career faded under the weight he never shed. Darko Milicic, rings without minutes. Darko Milicic was drafted before Wade, Bosh, and Carmelo. He won a ring, and nothing else. In 2003, Detroit made one of the most infamous picks in NBA history, selecting Darko Milicic 2nd overall. He was 7 feet tall, skilled, and just 18. But he rode the bench through Detroit's title run, playing garbage minutes behind Hall of Famers. Over 10 seasons, he played for 6 teams, averaging 6 points and 4 rebounds. He never developed. Coaches questioned his motor. He later admitted he never loved the game. While Wade, Bosh, and Melo built legacies, Darko became a punchline. He has a ring, but almost no stats to show for it. A ghost in the Golden Draft. Austin Rivers. Nepotism doesn't hit jumpers. Austin Rivers had NBA genes and Duke hype, but the name didn't carry the game. Austin Rivers was a top recruit, Duke star, and son of head coach Doc Rivers. Drafted 10th overall in 2012, he had the swagger and scoring instincts, but his shot was streaky, and his decision-making, questionable. He bounced around as a role player, never averaging more than 15 points in a season. Critics called him a product of nepotism, especially when his dad coached him on the Clippers. Over a decade in the league, he survived on effort and defense, but never reached star level. Rivers had the pedigree, but not the punch. A long career, never a big one. Derrick Williams. Explosiveness without production. Derrick Williams jumped out the gym, but no one cared when the numbers stayed flat. Drafted number 2 in 2011, Derrick Williams looked like a star waiting to happen. He had power, verticality, and a smooth jumper out of Arizona, but in the NBA, he never found his role. He couldn't defend threes or stretch as a 4. He averaged just 8.9 points across 7 teams. Coaches gave him chances. He never made it stick. His best highlight was a dunk. His worst stat? Longevity without growth. He played like a mixtape, not a system player. In the end, the league saw the hops, but never saw enough heart. Josh Jackson. Lottery pick, locker room headache. Josh Jackson had the tools of a star. Then the attitude ruined everything. Phoenix drafted Josh Jackson 4th overall in 2017. Athletic, long, and a two-way wing prototype, but the polish never came. He shot under 30% from deep. His defense was inconsistent. Off the court, he got suspended for skipping team events, arrested at a music festival, and demoted to the G League. His focus wavered, and so did his career. He bounced from Memphis to Detroit to Sacramento, each stint shorter than the last. Jackson had the potential to be a franchise piece. He became a warning about maturity and wasted chances. Terrence Williams. Jail before prime ended. Myself, Terrence Williams had bounce, flair, and vision. Then came fraud charges and prison. Terrence Williams was drafted 11th overall in 2009. A flashy passer, an explosive scorer, he showed signs of being a do-it-all wing. But he clashed with coaches, struggled with shot selection, and played for 4 teams in 4 years. By 2013, he was out of the NBA. In 2021, he was indicted for leading a $5 million scheme defrauding the NBA's health plan. In 2023, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Williams went from top prospect to convicted felon. His fall wasn't just fast, it ended in a cell, not a locker room. Nicholas Tiskitishvili, the prototype that never booted. Nicolas Tiskitishvili looked like a 7-foot unicorn, but his game never even loaded. Patriotism drafted Nicolas Tiskitishvili 5th overall in 2002, a 7-footer who could dribble, shoot, and pass, at least on paper. But once he hit the NBA floor, it was a disaster. He averaged just 2.9 points on 30% shooting. He looked lost every game. No confidence, no feel, no adjustment. He played just 172 games before vanishing. Scouts called him the next Dirk. Instead, he became one of the worst top 5 picks ever. His legacy isn't failure, it's fraud by hype. Tiskitishvili proved that highlight tapes mean nothing when the lights turn real. Hasheem Thabeet, 7'3" inches, soft as tissue. Hasheem Thabeet was 7'3" and still got pushed around like a rookie guard. Hasheem Thabeet went 2nd overall in 2009, taken ahead of James Harden, Steph Curry, and DeMar DeRozan. Memphis drafted him for his elite shot blocking at UConn, but in the NBA, his size didn't matter. He moved slow. He couldn't score. He couldn't adjust to pace or spacing. He averaged just 2.2 points and 2.7 rebounds across 5 seasons. He was sent to the G League as a rookie, rare for a top pick. Thabeet was built like a monster, but played like a ghost. He wasn't just a bust, he was invisible. A giant reminder that height alone means nothing. Darius Miles, hype, injuries, then guns. Darius Miles was the face of NBA future. Then came injuries, and then came federal charges. Darius Miles went 3rd overall straight out of high school in 2000. His dunks, charisma, and swagger made him a fan favorite. He averaged 14 points in just his 2nd season, but knee injuries derailed him early. After microfracture surgery, his career never recovered. He retired by 27. In 2021, he was indicted in a $5 million healthcare fraud scheme, along with other former players. He later pleaded guilty. Once seen as the future of the league, Miles became another cautionary tale of broken bodies, fast money, and bad endings. The promise was real, so was the crash. Sebastian Telfair, 2nd time deserves reminder. Disregard. Got 2 chances, one from the league, one from the law. Already covered once, but Telfair's fall is so sharp, it needs repeating. Drafted 13th overall in 2004 with huge street ball hype, he never lived up to it. Over a decade, he bounced between 8 teams, never averaging more than 10 points. The second act came in court. In 2017, he was arrested with multiple loaded guns, extended mags, a ballistic vest, and marijuana. In 2019, he was convicted of weapons charges. Once a high school phenom with Jay-Z and LeBron cosigns, he ended up a footnote in both NBA history and New York court records. Hype didn't save him. Talent didn't last. Jonathan Kuminga. Too early, but slipping fast. Jonathan Kuminga was supposed to be the Warriors' future. Now he's fighting just to stay relevant. Drafted 7th overall in 2021, Kuminga was raw but explosive. The Warriors saw a future two-way star, but through 3 seasons, his role has stayed inconsistent. He's shown athletic flashes, poster dunks, chase down blocks, but his feel for the game lags. Coaches question his decision-making and defensive focus. In Golden State's system, he often looks lost. Despite playing alongside legends, he hasn't absorbed their control or poise. He's still just 22, but patience is thin. Kuminga could still bloom, or be another name on the list of players who had the tools, but never found the blueprint. Moses Moody. Great resume, no impact. Sluggish Moody has the pedigree, but not the presence. Moody came in with everything. A national title at Arkansas, lottery pick status, elite wingspan, and 3-and-D promise. Drafted 14th in 2021 by the Warriors, he was praised for maturity and IQ. But in the NBA, he's blended into the background. In his first 3 seasons, he's averaged just 5 points in limited minutes. Despite injuries around him, he hasn't earned a consistent role. His shooting is decent, his defense solid, but nothing stands out. Moody looks like a player who should be contributing more, But in a league full of role players, decent isn't enough to survive.